Afternoon, intuitives, and welcome new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to some random nobody who doesn't edit his videos and just talks into a microphone about things and goes off on tangents and pontificates on random points of his videos. But nonetheless, for whatever reason, thank you all who take the time to view, and please view my older videos, especially ones that I'm proud of that not many people watch, like INFJs or spirits in the material world, or my personal favorite being the edge of the coin. That gets into my personal philosophy, which it's pretty awesome. It's Nietzschean in its own way, but it's a pretty awesome video. Everybody should watch it. It should have thousands of views. I'm quite proud of it, and INFJs would understand it. Anyway, topic today, there was when I was posting another video on Reddit yesterday or the day before, I saw a post by another INFJ, obviously on an INFJ forum, talking about like INFJs feeling down, feeling over the edge, and how there can be unique circumstances that put us in that situation, and or at the very least how we handle it differently than most. And by handle it differently than most, I mean deeply. Emotions hit us hard. We don't, all or nothing. Either it's important to us or it's not. There's no halfway. Yeah, yeah. Kind of this tale of our love story. Or those of you that aren't INFJs, if you're trying to get an INFJ to fall for you, you know, the INFJ will probably tell you, in my little side note, be damn sure that like you actually want to give it a fair shot. Because if you don't, you're just gonna hurt the INFJ, if assuming you get them to fall for you. But make damn sure that's what you want. Um, so back to INFJs feeling down, feeling over the edge, I want to get into some of the common things that can cause an INFJ to feel like that and how the INFJ will feel in that specific situation. One, and I talked about this before, hopelessness. So you're in a situation that sucks and there's no prospect currently around that is getting you out of bed to think, well, I want this. I need to work towards it. I know I got to play the long game. INFJs are good at long games. So be it like a dream job, like me, 4 years ago, I had to move home from my apartment because my father, who was 6'4", was rapidly deteriorating from Lewy body dementia. My 5'2" mother couldn't care for him, and after he was towards the end, fire tests for firefighters started to open up in the surrounding states. So I started testing. So I was, obviously upset that he was dying, but also I didn't want to be living at home. I wasn't working a very good job, I was getting by, but the idea of, oh, I'm going to throw myself in this testing process again. It's going to take 8 months, but if I kick ass for 8 months on these tests and drag my ass in the gym 5 days a week, victory will be mine. And come 2019, I did get that offer. And you all know what happened once I got there. But I had something, that I was working towards, that I knew it would take time, but I also knew when it would manifest. You know what I mean? Like I knew this process takes about 8 months. So it was enough to get me out of bed and keep me moving for 8 months because I had a goal I was working towards. When an INFJ doesn't have that, it can be very hard to motivate an INFJ because we don't like the day-to-day shit. Like, oh, you come on, like, watch the game. It's like, oh, the game doesn't affect my life. Like, oh, go out, get drunk. It's like, I did that yesterday. There has to be something of deep meaning, like a job that gives you purpose and a decent wage, a love interest that you have a connection with, that you could see something real blossoming from, or to have a job already that you have a sense of purpose and things like that. And the job ones, because like if your personal life shit, if you have a job that you like, you just throw yourself into that head over heels. Watch why INFJs and ENFJs become workaholics. So watch it. That's one example. But again, when you don't have that hopelessness, that feeling like I have nothing to fight for, it's very hard for us to be motivated, because while we're pretty good self-motivators, we have to have something we're working towards, and we just don't see the point. We don't do things just to do them. That's not who we are. So to, stay motivated and positive when everything around you is dark and you cannot even see any light, it's like, why? Why? I'm going to sit in this corner and brood for as long as I want. Yeah. And that can be a common reason of why you can feel over the edge or hopeless. Another one can be if you get screwed over. Yeah. So INFJs that get screwed over get vengeful. We lock people in vaults and feed them to dragons, burn them alive. But enough about Daenerys Targaryen. But it is a good example of what happens when you double cross an INFJ in a fictional sense. Real INFJs will just look you dead in the eyes and expose all your secrets and be like, "Oh, all that stuff that you try to hide, I can see it, and now everybody's gonna know about it because you lied to me and you hurt me. You're not what you claim to be. And I gave you every opportunity to come clean," kind of thing. So then we expose their secrets. But in that aspect, INFJs can feel over the edge because one, we're going to blame ourselves. Why, you ask? Because we'll be thinking to ourselves, what did I not see? Did I not listen to my intuition again? What did I not see coming? I should have saw it coming. Why didn't I see this coming? What pieces of the puzzle did I miss? Why didn't I think about this long enough, even though you overthought the shit out of it because we're us and that's what we do, kind of thing. That can be, a sense of pushing you over the edge. If, say, you trusted the wrong person, you're first going to blame yourself for not seeing it coming. And then you're going to also think, what could I have done differently? You're going to replay it all in your head. Like, well, should I have done this instead of that? Or what if, like I sensed this and I should have said it then, but I didn't say it then. And maybe if I said it then, you got to let that go. And I know I'm being a hypocrite right now because you got to let that go and stop thinking about it because you can't, blame yourself and judge yourself for things that aren't your fault. Because when someone lies to you and deceives you, it's their fault, not yours, even though we like to blame ourselves thinking, well, I should have saw this and what could I have done differently? And maybe if I did this differently, things would have played out differently. Maybe if I saw this other aspect in that scenario coming and I called it out sooner. Yeah, INFJs, you got to let it go and forgive yourself. I'm saying that knowing that I don't know how to. Yeah, so if you can, it's hard. I don't know how to, but if you're capable of doing it, you should. That is another aspect that can cause an INFJ to feel over the edge because we don't like being anybody's fool. We're very selective of who we trust, and trust is not taken lightly with us, especially if it's somebody who was pushing us to trust them and opened up first. And it's like, well, they're telling me all this dark stuff and I think I can trust them. Why else would they be telling me all this? I should reciprocate in kind, as a token of trust to prove that that you're taking that connection seriously as well. And sometimes you get burned. Yeah, sometimes you get burned. And the next one, perhaps the biggest one that can push an INFJ right over the edge, is a situation that goes wrong that you can't make sense of. Oh, yes, let the madness flow. Yeah. And in these situations, INFJs don't know what to do. When INFJs get hurt, if the reason that the INFJ got hurt is because they ignored their intuition, things like that, or, they ignored their intuition, ignored red flags, saw the writing on the wall and said, fuck it, all or nothing, I'm going for it. We can at least make sense of that. Sometimes an INFJ, we're pretty good at risk analysis. We'll take a calculated risk, big risk, big reward. Sometimes we'll put ourselves in those situations, and when it doesn't pan out, we know why. Like, essentially, we knew we were gambling at the time. And while those hurt, again, it's easy to make sense of, to know what happened. Because a lot of times with us, when we get hurt, it's not just about like, oh, this didn't go my way, or oh, this person stabbed me in the back. An even bigger part is why. For us to like heal from that and move on, we have to know the why. We have to know the why. And a lot of times people don't want to tell us. Even though half the time, more than half, we can look in their eyes and see what actually happened. But we want them to say it to show that they, had any empathy for us at all. That that you weren't just being used the whole time. And when that doesn't happen, well, then the spotlight comes out. And the spotlight's mean and it's bright and it's hot and it's vicious, but effective, very effective. So that can be another situation. But the worst one is, and I alluded to this, is when you're pushed over the edge through an event that you cannot make any sense of. And I'm even going to add the caveat that if there's people around you that you are confiding in, or perhaps were there for it to go down, if they can't make sense of it, then you're in an NITI loop, because now it's like, wow, people pushed me to do this. I got screwed. I don't know why. Nobody knows why. And I got to know why. If I think really, really, really hard, the pieces of the puzzle will fall into place at 4 in the morning. Sometimes that happens. But usually NITI loops, you can't think your way the pieces together. I recently did, it turned out that what I thought was correct. I thought I was stark raving mad at the time, but, kind of drove me mad temporarily given how things played out. But nonetheless, my intuition did think its way through it. And in these situations, it's really tough. It's really tough because, again, you're in an NITI loop. Whatever, be it a job, a relationship, whatever didn't just work out is haunting you. It's on your mind all the time. You're not only hurt, you can't make sense of it, and that's driving you crazy. And people around you have no clue what happened too. And of course, like I said before, you're blaming yourself because you're thinking, what did I miss? And in these situations, if it makes no sense, you didn't miss shit. Now, it's possible gaslighting and things of that nature were going on behind your back, but you can't foresee that. I'm talking about foreseeing stuff like, the boss has been extra mean lately, promised me this promotion, and I've been doing everything my end of the bargain. Wonder if he's going to double cross me, or, this girl was hanging on me and now she barely speaks to me and I didn't do anything or say anything bad. It's like, what did I miss? You didn't miss shit. It's, in those situations, if a boss is like conspiring against you because perhaps they see you as a threat to their job, yes, I've been in that position, or if third parties are on a mission to break two people that are forming a romantic connection apart, you can't see that coming if you're not around for it. You can only, the things when I mean see coming, I mean like seeing what's you can see and hear in your interactions with the boss or the potential love interest, like their expressions, their tone of voice, their physical affection, all that stuff, what they're saying, reading between the lines, but stuff that's being said, like from boss to his boss, or from third parties to the person you're starting to date behind your back, and that's gaslighting, and you can't usually tell that it's going on if you're not around for it. It's why it's gaslighting, and it's covert narcissism, and it's evil. But that will drive you mad, and it will push you over the edge until you somehow, some way make some sense of it, or you get the hell out of that situation. Yeah, you get away from the toxicity if you can. There's certain things that INFJs just can't comprehend too. Like, we're very independent, free will type people. So a lot of times we can be pushed over the edge when it's nothing we did wrong, but it's the opinions of other people. You get what I'm saying? Like, INFJ gonna do what INFJ wants to do, and ain't no one gonna tell them they ain't gonna do it. We're not gonna be told, like, we'll take the job thing, for instance. You all know my firefighter story. You all know that, 06 got cheated first, didn't get back till 2020, recession in between, and I almost died getting shot too. It took 2 years to fully recover. But my point is I'm getting to it. So say it's 2010. And I was working as an assistant superintendent at the prestigious Top 100 Aronimink Golf Club. Ooh, yeah, they recruited me to be a slave. 80 plus hours a week, but we have the PGA. Ooh, yeah, the name. Ooh. Yeah, anyway, the reason I use that point is to say, like, a lot of people actually wanted that job for the name and prestige. It was not fun. I'm getting there. Why I bring it up is you all know, like I said, since '05, I wanted to be a professional firefighter. Say in that situation, I'm there at Aronimink, I'm an assistant manager and PJ, all that shit's going on. And Arlington contacted me saying, hey, you were screwed in '06. We see it. Somebody forged your signature. You have a spot in the class that starts in a month. Do you want it? I'd be like, gone. Because that's what I wanted. And for an INFJ, you know, if they have the opportunity to obtain whatever it is they're pursuing, they're going to do it no matter who says what about the status quo and tells them they can't have it and tells them they can't do it and tries to gaslight them and manipulate them into doing something other than they want. That's the point I'm trying to make. And the reason I make it is because other people don't think like that. I know INFJs. For a long time, I thought everybody thought like us. And it's a big reason why people didn't make sense to me. Because I'm like, well, don't they think like me? No. The answer is no. Other people, where say they have the opportunity to obtain whatever they've been striving for, whatever they want, and others want them to not take it even though they have the opportunity to. Some people will do that, believe it or not. Like some people will be like, no, I'll stay at the crappy job even though that's my dream job, but other people are telling me I need to stay here, so I'll do it. I know. My head hurts because that makes no sense to us, but it's something that's important in this video because in some of these situations where you're feeling over the edge, especially if it involves other people, you may have to consider that. I know, it doesn't make any sense. I don't care what any of the extroverts or the censors say, it still doesn't make sense. So that's something you got to be aware of. But when you're over the edge, it's kind of cliche advice. Get out of that situation, out of sight, out of mind. That does help. Throw yourself into whatever you're passionate about, hobbies, working out, witchcraft. That's just me. But, no, not just me, but it's not many people. Take a vacation, but most importantly, find something healthy to strive for. Yes, find something else to pursue. Even if it's, even if people are telling you, oh, that's such a long shot and you'll never get that job, fucking go for it. Go for it. Obviously. Go all or nothing for it and throw all your motivation behind that. Throw all your motivation behind something healthy to strive for and whatever will, get you out of and away from whatever it is that pushed you over the edge. I hope that helped, Reddit subscriber. That's what I could come up with at the time. Please like and subscribe and watch my older videos. Help the channel grow. Help me feel like my ramblings into this microphone is helping people because I get purpose out of helping people. And it's getting harder and harder to do considering where I live. So thank you for taking the time. Please watch the videos till the end. I know I ramble. And remember, trust your intuition. If you feel a situation doesn't make sense, it probably doesn't make sense. So understand that it doesn't make sense and get yourself out of that NITI loop. And don't sell out your integrity listening to others. If you have the opportunity to obtain what it is you are striving for, you do it, and the hell with everybody else.